The Buzz with Dion Spires, featuring Kelly Andrews and Abigail Elias. And now, your host, Dion Spires.
Hello and welcome to The Buzz. On this month's episode, we're learning about exercise. It's common knowledge that working out is a crucial part of being able to live a happy, healthy lifestyle. But as a college student, it can be hard to know where to start. So today in studio, we have Kelly Andrews and Abigail Elias from Florida Southern College to talk about the importance of exercise. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Good.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's start off by getting to know you guys a little bit. Can you guys each tell me a little bit about what your position is at Florida Southern's Wellness Center?
Sure. I'll start on that one.
Okay.
I currently am the Assistant Dean of Wellness, and so I kind of oversee the bigger umbrella on campus, which includes the intramural sports program, our aquatics and outdoor rec program, our health and fitness program, and then we have a few health education programs. And then in addition to that, I also oversee employee wellness, and also I do a lot of in the community as far as community wellness.
Okay. And Abigail, what do you do?
And I'm the fitness coordinator, so I directly oversee the group fitness program, the personal training program, and then our fitness center floor, which is where all of our cardio and strength equipment is housed.
Okay. Now, being in the Wellness Center, I know you guys know plenty about physical activity and exercise and the benefits of it. So what are some of the benefits of a student being physically active on a regular basis?
So really for any population, a lot of the benefits physiologically are anything from increased ability to have increased strength and endurance in the muscular system. Cardiovascularly, we see that we can increase our lung capacity. We also have the ability to have stress management. A lot of the research now is showing, and we know this, that if people are more active, they're going to be better able and more resilient to stress in their lives. In addition to that, and Abby, you can add in anything else here that you want. You have decreased blood pressure, also decreased risk for heart disease and some of the other diseases that are directly affected by inactivity.
Helps against depression, anxiety, helps increase self-esteem. So there's a lot of physiological and mental benefits across populations.
And on that same note, when you're in college, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been in for years, the stress can maybe get to you and cause some of that depression and things of that nature. How does a lack of exercise affect the brain of a teenager or a young adult? Looking
at it from the opposite effect. You have a lower self-esteem, you can fall into depression, stress levels can increase, and the biggest thing is that we have who we work with, the collegiate population. That's the window of opportunity that we have to help them, to teach them how to be active and live a healthy lifestyle. And if we miss that window, it's very difficult for them to pick it up after college. So, this is our time to teach them all of the benefits, and we try to steer away from what could potentially happen if you don't do that. We try to stay away from the negative side of it and just say, look at all the things that can happen if you do this. So, that's what we try to focus on in recreation, is to be as fun and as uplifting as possible so that they don't see a lot of the negatives. They see a lot of the positives of what it can bring.
And we do try to create a holistic program so that we don't just focus on the physical aspect. We really focus on body, mind, spirit, and emotion. And so I think a lot of times with what we see with students is there are these peak times in the semester where they get more stressed than others, like midterms, like right now, they're really stressed out at the end of the year. So we do have yoga classes and meditation on campus and things like that that kind of focus and address a little bit more on the stress side of things.
Now, being a college student not long ago myself, I know that while you're in the madness of classes and studying and a social life and all of that good stuff, it's hard to motivate yourself sometimes. So as instructors in the Wellness Center, how do you guys go about helping students get motivated to work out?
Well, I think a huge part of this is I directly oversee students, and when students are helping to motivate other students, it's easier. So our Group X instructors are primarily students. Our personal trainers are students. Our fitness attendants are students. And if their peers see them getting involved, they kind of follow right along. And then I don't know if you want to talk about our events and what we do.
Yeah, we have a few incentives that we do, like for our intramural sports program, we have all sports points, which kind of motivates the fraternities and sororities in particular to compete against each other. So that's always its own built-in incentive, as well as some of the classes that Abby does. Some of our other programs we do incentives, such as gift cards and shirts and things like that, and have an extra little prize you get if you kind of get out of your room and come do some exercise.
Very nice. Now, I know that you guys at Florida Southern in particular, I don't know how common it is across different colleges, but you guys have the jumpstart program where you can kind of get a personal trainer on campus. Do you feel like that's something that motivates your students, and how many students do you have coming to you for that?
Well, right now, our personal training program is something that is my major focus currently coming into this position. We currently have 4 personal trainers, and they do very well, but they're also students, so they can't take on too many clients at once. So we're expanding on our personal trainers right now. But currently we have anywhere from 15 to 20 clients that are kind of staying pretty steady right now. We do hope to increase those numbers as the semesters go on, and with me being here hopefully. And people do take advantage of it. I think that once we get the amount of trainers that we need to in place for supply to equal demand, or demand to equal supply, however you want to put it, we can market this more, we can hit it hard more, because there are definitely ways to market the Jumpstart program. I think just a lot of people don't know that it's there, and students are on apps, they're not usually on websites anymore, and it's on our website. So to get them to steer them to our website is sometimes difficult. So we just need to, increase the promotion of it, but it's free to our students. So why not take advantage of it? They just need to know that it's there.
Yeah.
So.
And when you have a student who maybe hasn't been working out or isn't really knowledgeable on what they can do in the gym, that's kind of intimidating. What kind of exercises do you guys feel are the best ones for someone who's just starting out, or someone who wants to go to your gym and just get involved?
We do want everybody to get or to kind of touch on everything when they're in there. Maybe not every time they visit, but we do want everybody to get their cardio in throughout the day and their strength training in throughout the day. We have our cardio equipment, which is very easy to use. Our treadmills, our ellipticals, our bikes. We have a stair climber as well, and we have a rower. And then for our selectorized equipment, that's if someone is just starting out. It's the equipment that it basically sets your body up in good alignment so that you're not going to hurt yourself. There's not a lot of twisting, torquing your body. The selectorized equipment sets you up pretty well so that you're not going to hurt yourself, and you can build up that core musculature, so then you can start using more dumbbells, kettlebells, medicine balls, functional trainers, things like that. So beginners, we usually like to start them on the selectorized equipment and slowly start to work them up to the free weights. But hopefully that when people come in, they get to use everything eventually and have a wide variety of what they enjoy.
And I think the other thing I'd add to that is we really at the Wellness Center try to create an environment of welcomeness, and so that those intimidation factors don't become such a hurdle for students when they're new. So at the beginning of the year, we have all the new students come through the facility, and we do an orientation piece, all of our staff, to talk about our programs. And one of the things we always emphasize is that if you've never worked out before, like if you've never walked into a gym before, we want you to feel welcome here and safe here, and so that we have individual training for you, so that you don't have to just walk in and try to figure it out on your own, because I think that's important. A lot of times, not everybody has played basketball on a basketball team or been an athlete in high school. So some people are coming to this and they've never really exercised before, except for maybe what they got in their PE classes.
Yeah.
So.
Is there any particular type of exercise, as far as maybe cardio versus yoga versus strength training, that you feel is more beneficial from a health perspective?
I honestly treat everyone on a case-by-case basis. What's going to be best for me is not necessarily what's best for Kelly, is not necessarily what's best for you. I think that everyone has the ability to get involved with fitness. It's just the format and the frequency that they want to partake in that's completely up to them. Some people strictly take group fitness classes and they love it, and it keeps them healthy. Some people strictly just do cardio. If it's keeping you healthy and it's keeping you happy, and you enjoy it, then I wouldn't steer you in any other direction.
From another perspective, another aspect of the exercise that a lot of people may not think about is how to eat right for when you go to exercise, as far as what you would eat before or after a workout. What is the recommended thing that you intake before you go in and after?
Before you go in to any workout, you should be eating at least 1 to 2 hours before a workout, just so that you have that sustainable energy, to get you through that certain workout. It depends on if you have any special conditions. So obviously, if anything medical that you need to take beforehand, or whatever the case may be, and your body weight, your own. It's very much a case-by-case basis on how much you should be intaking before a workout, but you should be eating about 1 to 2 hours beforehand, staying hydrated before and during and after. And then after a workout, it's very good to, within 30 minutes post-workout, get some type of protein/carb in your body, usually in liquid form because it's the easiest to digest. It's the fastest absorption rate than solid foods. That again, the amount has to do with what your goals are, you know, what your body weight is, you know, if you have any medical conditions, all that good stuff. But you should be taking in something 1 to 2 hours before and then 30 minutes after.
And sometimes students don't always make the best decisions. Like, you know, if you're going to work out, even if it's an hour to 2 hours prior to, you wouldn't want to eat something really, really heavy. You know, there's certain foods you can pick. So you can kind of be, I guess, picky about what you take in, because you don't want to have something heavy on your stomach when you're going to do physical activity, because then the blood shunts to all the muscles and you have digestion issues. So
Right. I always wondered about it because when I was in college, I tried to stay fairly active, and I knew you were supposed to take in the protein afterwards or whatever. I didn't know how much. I didn't know what was recommended at all. And even on the internet, like, I found different things. So that's why I was curious as to your opinion on it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different equations out there, and there's a bunch of different, you know, ways that you can go about it, but it honestly comes down to really your body weight and what your goals are. So if you want to get bigger, you want to hypertrophy your muscles, they have recommendations out there for amount of protein, amount of carbs. If you just want to stay healthy, you can get protein throughout your daily diet. You know, you don't have to do all these supplements. I don't necessarily always recommend supplements. I don't take them myself personally, but it might work for others. So, you know, it's to each their own.
And from the Wellness Center, do you guys have any particular success stories as far as maybe either a student who got involved with you guys and lost a lot of weight or got a lot healthier, or even just the morale change of, I really hated working out and now I found something I love to do to keep healthy?
We have a lot of students, I think, and I was telling Abby and I were having this conversation about this question in particular because there are 1,000 stories I'm sure that I have, and I can't think of one specific to come to mind, but what I can say is that a lot of our students come in as just students at Florida Southern, and then they start to work for us, and then they get active in the programs, and then by their senior year you kind of see them go through their stages of change, and a lot of times by their senior year you've seen them go through the different ways of working out, and hopefully, especially if they've been working for us, by their last year they've got a solid foundation, and you can see it in everything about them, in the way that they look, in the way that they act, in the energy that they carry, and the confidence that they have in themselves. So I think overall, as a whole, our department and our area on the campus does a really good job creating sort of that positive image that comes along with a healthy lifestyle.
So if someone is finding themselves not having time to get to the gym, what can they do in their very own dorm room to get some sort of exercise in during the day? Some recommended activities.
Well, there are a ton of things that you can do, especially if you have absolutely no free weights, resistance bands, nothing. It's just you and your body weight. There are many isometric exercises that you can do. There are many plyometric exercises that you can do. And then it's fun to switch them up, time them, you know, put yourself through interval training, manipulate your rest periods. Sometimes you know, your creativity doesn't have to be, you know, super large when it comes to what to do, but then how to do it, such as how long are you performing those squats, or how long are you doing those lunges, or how much rest periods do you have in between each lunge, or whatever the case may be. So there are many, many things that you can do at home.
Well, you've got some exercises in store for me. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to change my clothes, and I'm going to try some indoor workouts right after the break.
Hi, I'm Dondi Caminata here with Greg Buck, co-owner of the Ultimate Fitness Center in Bartow, Florida. And we're here to go over some cross-training exercises and general fitness guidelines for runners, cyclists, or basically anyone that wants to start working out. Greg, why don't you tell us a little bit about your facility?
Sure. We've been open about 5 years. We're a small facility. Mom and pop is really what we would call ourselves. We're not a 10,000 square foot facility or franchise, but we think that's one of the priorities that we have, is that it's the owners, Rick or myself, are here all the time, and the personal touch and personal care that we give to the people that walk in. So it's more a family atmosphere, and it's nice to be on first name basis with most of the people that come here. And then we find out what they're here for. So when people walk through that front door, we generally will do an orientation, ask them what their goals for walking through that door are, and then we approach their personalized training to that. So today we're going to talk about some cycling and running and some cross training, what they do when they're off that bike or off that path of training. So we'll talk about some things there. Another person may walk through that door and say, hey, I just want to lose some weight. I want to weigh what I've weighed before I had 3 kids, and I want to feel good. I want to quit taking my diabetes medicine or high blood pressure, and then we can approach that too. So it's more specific to the person, and we can kind of dial in that aspect of it with what we have here.
And your facility has a lot of different equipment. So you have some free weights, you have some Nautilus weights, you have the cardio, and then you have the room that we're in right now with a lot of boxing equipment as well as martial arts. So you have a lot of different approaches to fitness.
Yes.
So you don't just have to come in and lift weights. You can do a lot of things to stay in shape.
No, absolutely, absolutely. There's different things for different folks. Speaking of the weight, we do have circuit equipment so that we can make it fast, safe. The big advantage of the machines out there. So it can be a quick workout, somebody on their lunch break, coming in, do a quick circuit, get out the door. You don't have to spend a lifetime or hours in a gym to get what you want. So we have that aspect. The free weights obviously take it to another level of training. And so maybe we train them, get them in condition on the machines, bring them over. Now they put free weights in their hand. It's a whole different aspect. Same exercise, but now I got one in each hand and I'm balancing, controlling, stabilizing. Brings in different things. This room, our cardio, going back to weight loss, calories is the name of the game. Right? How many you put in, how many you burn, or how many you don't put in and how many you burn. So we can approach that. So our box and burn class, some of the cardio that we do, really high energy, lots of calories in a short period of time. It's a mixture of stretching, boxing techniques, along with high intensity calisthenics, core work. So that covers it all in an hour.
And so for someone like me who, I get a little ADD when I'm in the weight room, so I can't do weights for a long period of time. If I'm coming in and I'm a cyclist, so I want to cross train, are there benefits to coming in? And I know that I'm supposed to do weights, and I know that helps a lot with, as we get older, our muscle mass and bone density and all that. But coming in and doing the boxing burn class, I mean, is that giving me the same type of workout? Is that a good cross training exercise?
Well, let's do this. And you're an avid cyclist, all right? So your world probably evolves being on that bike, all right? But it's good for once in a while, whether it's a bike or not, or if it's running, take away from that, cross-train into something different.
Okay.
All right? Work on your strength. Work on that impact for that bone density and that muscle, because you're not getting it on the bike. By taking it away a couple times a week, training, doing some other type of activity, then when you get back on that bike, it gives you that passion.
You feel a little stronger.
Yeah, you're away from it for a little while. Now you get back, hey, this has really helped me. It's running stadium steps, doing lunges, weights here, working some of those muscles that you don't use, your core.
Greg, I want to thank you for having us here at the Ultimate Fitness Center. We really appreciate you giving us kind of a once-over of your facility and all the benefits that it has to members of our community that are coming in to get fit, lose weight, or whatever their weight loss goals are. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Glad to have you.
Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Whitney Fong and I am with the University of Florida IFAS Extension Service and the Innovent Healthcare, which is funded by the half-cent sales tax of the Board of County Commissioners. So I am the Family and Consumer Sciences agent and I go all over the county and I provide nutrition education. Today we're going to talk about MyPlate and how do we make some healthy choices. So first question is, do you know what MyPlate is? Who's seen this before? And so this, if you remember the food pyramid, MyPlate replaced MyPyramid in 2011 as the USDA recommendation for every American over 2 years old to have a healthy diet. And so basically, if you're going to eat lunch or dinner, whatever meal you're having, you sit down, look at your plate, and see if your plate looks just like MyPlate. And so you have a plate, you cut it in half. Half of the plate should be fruits and vegetables. So more of those good things, those fruits and vegetables, locally grown, that have lots of vitamins and minerals that keep us healthy. A quarter of the plate are your grains, and your grains are your breads, rice, cereal, and pastas. And then a quarter of your plate should be protein. And those are your meats, your pork, chicken, seafood, fish, but also your eggs and something like peanut butter. So that's your quarters. And then don't forget your dairy. Dairy foods are foods that provide calcium, which are your milk, cheese, and yogurts. And so there's two main messages of my plate. The first one is to eat all 5 food groups every single day. And so you notice all the different colors. You want to make sure you have all 5 food groups. So ask yourself, if for lunch you don't have a fruit, then how are you going to get your fruit later on during the day? So every single day, have all 5 food groups. And the second message is to portion control. And you see how the plate's kind of divided up? A lot of times people will say, oh, hey, my kids should eat that. Use that plate, but really it's an adult plate and we all have different portion sizes. And so number 2 message is to portion control. We want to make sure that we have all these quarters on your plate, and if you have a steak that's smack dab in the middle of your plate, then maybe it's a little too much. So remember those messages, and you can find more information on choosemyplate.gov right here, choosemyplate.gov, and there's a lot of different types of helpful resources. And so we've talked about my plate, and so you might be wondering how much of what foods we should be eating. As we go through these sessions, we will be talking about different types of things in detail. So you have that overview of my plate, and here's a quick synopsis of the different portion sizes. So we have a preschooler, we have kids, and we have adults. So let's use fruit servings for an example. So for fruit for a preschooler, you're going to have a quarter of a cup. A quarter of a cup to a half a cup, and this is a quarter of a cup. And so if you have measuring spoons at home, you might use a quarter of a cup. A half a cup is about this much, and this should be for your kids. So it could be a half a cup of bananas, a half a cup of strawberries, or whatever fruit that you're going to consume. And then for adults, it's right here. For adults, it's 1 cup, and 1 cup is about this much. And we'll go into the portion sizes a little bit more into detail in future sessions. And you might be thinking also about my plate and how do we build that healthy plate. You know, we have the vegetables and you have lots of vegetables and you're always eating salads, but if you put a lot of the dressing on, that might not be a healthy balanced diet, right? So catch us next session. We're going to be talking about the 10 tips to build a great plate. Thank you for being with us. My name is Whitney Fong. Feel free to call me if you have more questions. See you next time.
We are back on The Buzz, and I'm changed. I've got Abigail here who is going to give me some exercises to do that you can do in your very own dorm room. Take it easy on me. It's been a while since I've worked out.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous. All right, so what are we doing today?
Okay, so what you're gonna do is, you can do this at home super easy, and you can make this as long or as short as you want. But we're gonna do a ladder. So we're gonna do 5 of everything, and then 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. So we're going down the ladder. Other options are you can go up the ladder, but it's less motivating to know that you still have extra to do as you're continuing to do it. So
okay.
I like to go down the ladder because it's easy. So you're going to be doing 5 push-ups. So you can either be on your toes or you can drop down to your knees. Hands are right underneath your shoulders, and you're coming down, chest to the ground, and then exhaling yourself back up. So 5 of those. Then you're gonna pop up, hands on your hips, walk out, take 1 step forward, come down, make sure your knee doesn't knock off the ground, and then come back. 1 on each side, and then a squat. So your squat, you only have to come down right about to your knees. Okay, you don't have to drop below your knees if you don't want to. Okay. Feet are shoulder width apart, okay, and chest and torso are upright. So you wanna just hinge at the hips, come down, and use your legs to come back up.
All
so
right.
It's 1 lunge, 2nd lunge, and then a squat. And you do that 5 times total.
Okay.
And then you go right back to push-ups and do 4.
All right.
Do you want me to do this with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? Gonna make you do it too.
Okay, you ready? So the
I'm
first
ready.
thing we're doing, 5 push-ups, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. And ready, first lunge, 2nd one, and a squat. Again. Here's
Oh, we're
number
doing
4.
this 5 times too.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
down, and you're gonna sweat. 3,
Oh, I'm falling over.
and squat. 2 more. Good. And last one. And we're going right back down to push-ups. Here we go.
All right.
For 4, 3, 2, and 1, and up. So with these lunges, stand up nice and tall, come straight down, good, and squat. And you can look up a little bit when you squat, just to keep your torso up.
All right.
Good. 2 more. Ooh, and I'm breathing heavy. We didn't warm up. You should always warm up before a workout. Okay, last one. And push-ups for 3.
So maybe check my form on these.
Okay, so
See,
torso, abs in nice and tight. Squeeze your tush, come straight down. 1 more, elbows in closer to your body. Good, and up. And for lunges, go ahead and take a step forward. Your back knee should be right underneath your hip. And come back up.
Was it?
Yes, it was. No, it was.
Okay.
Good, and that front knee shouldn't be going over that front toe. And when you sit down, watch those knees. You don't want them to be forward.
Okay.
You want them to be right over your toes, okay? And again. Good. And squat down, torso upright. Last one through. Good. And squat, and down for those push-ups, 2 of these. So elbows in close to your body. 1 more, good, and come back up. Lunge forward. Are you sweating yet?
A little bit.
And squat down. Last one. Good. And squat down. Whoop. And push up.
1 more.
Last one. And up. Good. Woo. Perfect.
All right.
Excellent work.
Not too hard, not too bad.
That was good. Great work.
So you talked about the warming up. What else should students be making sure they do when they're in their dorms?
Sure, so when you warm up, you want it to mimic what you're about to do. So maybe doing lunges, but just not going as deep. Or maybe doing squats, but having a chair behind you and sitting down and coming back up, so it helps support that. So it's just getting your muscles ready, but you're not technically truly working them yet. Okay. Then you go through the actual workout, and then at the end you make sure that you cool down, maybe walk around your dorm, maybe walk around the hallway, come back and stretch. But when you stretch, you want to stretch your whole body, but you want to pay attention to the muscles that you primarily worked. Okay. So today, it was our chest. So you can come back here, dropping your shoulders away from your ears, and then forward for your upper back. And then for the front of your legs, quad stretch. So grabbing your ankle or the top of your foot, usually the ankle is most preferable. Knees close together, shoulders back and down, and then switching. And sometimes this takes balance, so if you need a friend or a wall, that's fine too. And then also bending over and getting your hamstrings. Grab your toes if you can, or just grab the back of your legs. Try not to grab on any joints and pull on those.
All right.
And just stretching, and then cooling yourself down and making sure your heart rate's back down to normal before you lay down or anything. Really.
Well, I want to thank you and Kelly for being here today. We really appreciate you coming out and teaching me a few things.
Sure thing, of course. Anytime, anytime.
That's all the time we have for today, but we're not quite done with health and wellness yet. On next month's episode, we're taking the Buzz on location at Florida Southern to learn about healthy eating habits. You don't want to miss it. Don't forget, you can catch this episode of The Buzz on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 and 7 p.m. on PGTV, or check out the previous episodes on our YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.